Well, it's telling me I'm live, so welcome. Live from the crossroads of America. A talk show shooting with disabilities. Gun, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind, really. We'll answer questions from the audience, either in the chat or by email at rickslifersIsee@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I have a Patreon page and all that good stuff. It's at the bottom, and it's even on the screen here at the moment. So I just let everybody know that. In the first in the chat tonight was Jason Stewart, I believe. Yes, it was. And then who we got? Two Gun Kitty. I'm trying to see who else is in here. It's a very slow night by the looks of it. Blind Shooter's in here. He must be at work since he's not in here. So Sabrina's here. Oh, Sean Henry's here. How you doing? And so anyway. Oh yeah, you're right there, Sean. So anyway, welcome. On my panel so far tonight, I have Kingpin. How you doing?
Doing well. Good to see you, sir.
Yep. And I got the New York Outcast. Talk to me.
Sorry. Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me.
And then we got Squidload.
Hey.
Good. All right. Now, to be honest with you, I've been lazy. I haven't done a lot of research on shooting with disabilities, to be quite honest with you. It's, I just had some other stuff I had to take care of, and I hadn't done it now. But I was thinking, the weather's starting to, I don't know, I guess it in some places isn't starting to change yet.
It ain't changing for the better here.
Okay. All right. I might have to bring it up at a later date then. But I was thinking of maybe talking about, is there anything with the changes? What do you have? Is there anything you do different between if you're disabled or have a disability? Anything you do different with your shooting during the winter months to, spring and summer? I.e., you go from indoors to outdoors or,
Well, I don't have the disability to go along with it per se, but I am a total coward when it comes to the cold. So during the summer and spring, I shoot a whole lot more than I do during the winter because I can go to my local range or I can go to my, secret spot out in the woods where during the winter, I'm not walking, it's like a 1.5 2-mile walk to get back to my spot in the woods. And I'm not doing that when it's super cold outside.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. For somebody who's disabled to go and walking back that far, or even if they got a wheelchair or something or whatever to get back there, it's harder in the winter months when the ground's soft and everything else. Now, real quick, I know it's slightly off topic, but are you allowed to shoot like that in Maryland, out in the woods?
Yeah, it's different county by county.
Oh, okay.
The county I live in is a sanctuary county first. And I've already called the state police department and the sheriff's department that in my local area and asked them about it.
Okay. Well, I was just curious because I think of Maryland like Rhode Island, with all the tough gun laws that make it almost impossible to do that kind of stuff, So, all right. So, up there in Michigan, you're still covered in snow, ain't you, Squib?
Most of the time I've been here tonight, I've been out there battling it. If it ain't falling, it's drifting. So we've had somewhat of a mild winter. So I guess I shouldn't complain, but I'm going to be feeling this later.
Yeah, you're right. We've been very lucky here down here in southern Indiana. It snowed today, but nothing settled on the ground, and I think we've had one snowfall where it was about an inch, and that was it. That was gone by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Two Live Moose has no snow on the west side of Michigan.
Screw you, Moo.
So, anybody know where our buddy Patriot is tonight?
Yeah, he's stuck in the snow.
Okay, makes it makes sense. So, all right. So that topic we'll bring up at a later date. So we could move on to what was I going to talk about? There was something else I wanted to mention with that. So, oh yeah,
With weather?
no, shooting disabilities. Now, like when even though I got arthritis, I have trouble walking. I have to use a cane and stuff, and like traveling, i.e., flying on an airplane. Now, because you got all the extra stuff, like if you're using a wheelchair. I mean, like I walk so slow sometimes that I'll get the free wheelchair ride from the airport people and give them a tip to take me where I want to go. But I still go to the check-in counter and I still checking my weapons to fly. Even though I get up out of the wheelchair or whatever, and I'll say, I say to the thing, I've got the firearm, so I need to fill out the form, and they look at me, why has he got a firearm? Because he's sitting in a wheelchair, So I just wondered, or do people who got a disability, they just don't bother with carrying and going through, instead of going through all that hassle of doing that because their mobility is compromised. Because it is a lot of, it's not, once you've done it once or twice, it's quite easy to do, but it's aggravating because, especially like if you're going down to Florida and you're only going for a few days and you take everything and you carry on that you need. Guys don't need as much as women. Give me a pair of jeans, a bit of, hell, you don't even need underwear if you want to let it all hang out there. You know what I'm saying? Go commando. But anyway, underwear and a couple pairs of socks and a shirt, that type of thing. You don't need much. You can do it in your carry-on. But you've got, when you check in your weapons, they have to fly in the what's it, cargo section of the airplane or whatever you call it. And so you have to wait for them to be unloaded and come out on the belt and all that good shit. Now, except in, was it Florida? I'm not sure. Was it in Florida or was it in Boston? I can't remember. One of those, to pick up your baggage, you had to go to the lost claims office. And then they would get your bag for you. Oh, no, it wasn't. Was it Boston? I can't remember. One of those airports, though, when they handed me my luggage, it had two big, heavy-duty zip ties on it. I'm talking, they must have been an inch thick or thicker, and real thick plastic, with one going lengthways, one going across it on my luggage. I thought, damn. So I had to find a knife to get those, to cut them before I could get in the damn thing to get my gun back out. So I know it's, has anybody else had experience with that?
No, I've never traveled on a plane with a gun.
It's not that difficult. It really, because all you do is you go up there and say, I'm carrying a firearm. They get this form, you sign it. Sometimes and all you got to do is open don't overpack your bag, because you got to open your suitcase and the gun's got to be inside a, like a locked container or something inside the suitcase. They don't actually literally have to see the gun. They just have to see the box it's in, then you're good. then normally they'll either take it there or they will send you down. I've never been sent to TSA. Every time I've checked in, they've done it right there with no problems. You know, a locked hard case. That was the words I was looking for, Vanessa. Thank you. That's what you need when you travel with one. You know. So I mean, I have one. I use I'm trying to think. One of my weapons I bought came in one. So that's the one I use to travel with. So yeah, Two Line Moose said I took my 44 Magnum on a plane. There you go, on a plane to Alaska. It was pretty easy. Lockbox in your checked luggage. Yep, that's it. You know,
I try to avoid flying if I can, and due to that, you know, I travel a lot in the vehicle. I did purchase one of the cheaper Harbor Freight ones cases recently, which worked well for traveling. So I think
now the problem is, right? Like when I drove out here to Indiana, I went the long. I didn't go the long. I could have gone across Connecticut quicker, but I dropped down for. I wanted the shortest route across New York State, and it was the way I went. I can't remember what it was now. It was 125 miles from state line to state line to get into Pennsylvania, I think, and because even though we have that federal law that says you can carry a weapon in your vehicle as long as it's in the locked up in the back of your car or whatever, New York State and New Jersey are notorious for not, let you use that law. I know New Jersey's terrible; they won't even recognize that law, But New York can be. It depends on the policeman you get,
Yeah, so, normally if you keep it locked, ammunition separate, and with the firearm are all locked up in an area that you can't get to, tends to be okay most places.
Yeah, but anyway, that's the route I took because I didn't want any aggravation, crossing New York State with because that's when I was moving out here. I had all my guns with me, and I didn't want any aggravation. I kept to, just a couple of miles over the speed limit, and drove through the state and on 125 miles without stopping, Then the rest of the way through Pennsylvania and Ohio wasn't a problem. So, but that's the only thing you got to be careful with when you're driving. Like, you're in New York, so say you wanted to go to Florida, you have to drive around New Jersey unless you want to take the gamble.
Yeah. To my knowledge, I looked on like the U.S. CCA map, and I believe they claim you can pass through on the highway with everything separate, but
you can't. I mean, the law says you can. The federal law says you can, but there is stories I've read stories where New Jersey police won't recognize it. If you're carrying like is it hollow points aren't allowed in New Jersey? So if you're carrying hollow points driving through the state, you broke the law, whether you got them locked up or not. So, you got to watch out for that kind of stuff too.
It's very true.
Yeah, Vanessa says ensure all ammo is legal through every jurisdiction. Because you even got to check on that to make sure your ammo's legal. Because there's some really weird ones out there. Vanessa says, do not carry hollow points through New Jersey ever. Not even if you're not stopping. Because if they pull you over and you got them, your ass is going to jail. So, Oh, Vanessa Kitty says, do not drive through Connecticut with a binary trigger or bump stock. True. Well, bump stocks are illegal federally now, so that one. But binary trigger, they're against the law in Connecticut.
What about non-binary?
What?
What about non-binary?
Hell, I don't know.
Non-binary. That was a poor attempt at humor.
Yes, I know. Yeah. So anyway, that's. I mean, so basically, it's a shame that we got to go through all this bullshit. You know, a right that is given to us. You know, and we've got this sort of like, I feel like something like when I was driving across New York when I was coming here. You know, I had all my guns where they were meant to be within their parameters of what the federal law said. But you still feel like you're not breaking the law, but you still feel like a criminal because you got to do all this shit. You know, you should be able to hang them up on your gun rack in the back of your window and drive wherever you want to go.
I completely agree with you. I think it's ridiculous that legal citizens got to go through all this crap just to travel from A to B.
Yeah.
And if you're legal, you're legal. So I really don't get it. Or, you know, I understand states may have different laws, but the travel aspect, and actually I just like to see reciprocity across, but that's probably asking for a lot. So
yeah, we're going to get a bunch of new gun laws again now because of the shooting in where was it, Milwaukee this afternoon? 7 dead in the Coors beer factory. You guys read that one or hear about that one?
It's news to me.
I heard that it happened, but that's all. I haven't listened to anything about it yet.
Yeah, it's in Milwaukee.
Information?
It's Milwaukee's Coors. It was I think it was a former employee. I think there wasn't a lot of information I got.
They mentioned what type of firearm was used?
No, it doesn't. Here's one for you. Hang on. I got detained by the New York State Police 6 hours at the airport near West Point when I was flying back from giving a lecture at the USMA. It was my issued sidearm, and I had a DOD memo too. Yeah, I tell you, sometimes it's these like New York, New Jersey, Maryland. I would imagine it's the same. Some of those states, they don't care what the federal law says. You know.
Well, they've always got this to back up anything that they do. Tell it to the judge. That's it. You know, you get pulled over for not having a seatbelt.
In New York.
Yeah, you get pulled over for not having a seatbelt on when you clearly had your seatbelt on, and you get a ticket, and you're arguing with the cop on a scene, and then all they say is, tell it to the judge. And that's exactly what's going to happen. If you get pulled over for having a hollow point in New Jersey, whether it's the FOPA thing or whatever, Second Amendment, all that's irrelevant because the cop is just going to say, tell it to the judge.
That's right. That's right. You know, but then again, see, unfortunately, the cops okay, let's go in Maryland because you live there. Are the cops pro guns or anti-gun?
It depends on where you're at. Like I said, in the county that I live in, the majority of the sheriffs are pro-gun and pro-freedom and decent people. And then we're also patrolled by the state police department. And there's a couple state cops that are cool, and there's a couple state cops that are the opposite. And, you go into Baltimore City and Baltimore County, and I'd pretty much guarantee every one of those cops is anti-gun. You know, their whole focus is guns and drugs, and they do a real crappy job at getting both off the street. But I mean, they're Baltimore City cops.
There you go, Sean Ponnery. Here you go, New Jersey carry, loading the last 2 rounds of your mag with ball ammo. That's how you get away with carrying hollow points. Had the first Yeah. So it just shows ball ammo when they look at it. Yeah. But I think in New Jersey, even I think you got to have your mags unloaded too. You know. So. Yeah, Seven Wonders. Yeah, New Jersey. Hollow points are banned. You can't. Even if you're just driving through the state, it's illegal. If you have hollow points in your vehicle somewhere. What's this one? Do I remember that guy got arrested in northeastern state and sentenced to prison for 200 plus years? Old black powder pistol? No, I don't remember that one. I don't remember that one, but that wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me up there in the northeast in some of those states. You know? So. All right. Any of you other guys got anything you want to talk about before I keep rambling here? Can you guys hear me?
No.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gone. Sorry, I thought I might have lost my connection here. You know?
No, those other two guys are just being antisocial.
Is that what it is?
Guess it's gonna have to be up to me and you to conduct the show.
Hold it together. Yeah, that's what I figured.
I'm here. Just don't have topics at the moment. I'm just
okay.
trying to install a new video camera line. So.
That's okay. Just wanted to make sure that I hadn't. It went silent. Besides not having time, I wanted to make sure I didn't lose my connection here, because I see. I noticed today. I was watching something on television. Don't remember what it was, but there was Verizon going on about 5G faster than any other network. Houston, Texas, Los Angeles, and all these other big cities. But I could have sworn President Trump said rural America is going to get 5G. Where in the hell is my 5G? I'm out here with this cheap ass DSL, and I can't even get a clear picture. You know.
I have no idea on that, but I hear 5G has some definite critics against it. So
yeah.
Myself, I'd like to learn a little more about it before I'm begging for it or not.
Well, I'm just looking at it as not for use on my telephone, for telephone calls. I'm looking at it for my internet connection here at the house. You know.
The problem with the 5G is the only actual player in the industry right now is China. And you can't have China take over, all of our internet information because they're China. So the United States
wouldn't be good.
United States has got to develop their own, which I'm sure they have some stuff on it right now. I mean, they're clearly not empty-handed, but they clearly don't have anything they can give to the masses right now either. So that's a lot of speculation for investment, I would think.
You're right. So we're just wait and see, and just hope my even if my provider here is, I can't get. I've got one provider, which is is a local state provider, can't give me their service because I don't have line of sight. So all I got, the only options I got is satellite, because it's satellite. What you call it? But that's no good for this. It's all right if you're streaming movies and stuff like that, but doing live broadcasts like I do, there's a 5 to 7 second delay. There's a lag in it, big time, and so that wouldn't be no good for this. And so I'm stuck with a company called Frontier. Even if they got fiber optic, would have been better than what I got now. So, but yeah, look on the bright side. At least I got
Frontier Cellular.
What?
Is it Frontier Cellular?
It's old-fashioned DSL.
Okay.
You know,
That
and
sounds familiar to a company I've heard of
yeah,
here that was a long time ago, but from what I heard, they were horrible. So
they wouldn't be. Oh, I
if
wouldn't
it
be
was a
surprised saying, well,
division or something like that, then that might be the problem. So
you've got mail.
you know. Oh, Patrick says the British are having the Chinese upgrade their new wireless phone system and internet. Yeah, well, hell. Unfortunately, I know when I talk about England and my English thoughts, I'm thinking about the times when it was a freer country, when I lived there as a kid. Today, it's almost a socialist state now, so that doesn't surprise me, Oh, Sean says a 5 to 7 second delay to YouTube. Your viewers wouldn't notice a difference, honestly, unless it was raining cats and dogs with satellite. I don't know, but I would. If somebody's on here and I'm talking and I stop, like Kingpin starts talking, there's a delay, or I got to wait for him to make sure he's heard what I said before he stops talking. So I don't want to do it. So that's it. I made my mind up.
Do you live are you like the only house on your street, or is there like 2 or 3 houses?
No. There's maybe 10 houses on this street, and there's a big old farm at the end of the street. But because it's DSL, I am the very last house on that particular, because it goes from your house to some relay box or something. Then from there, it goes further on. So they told me the furthest they want to go is 3 miles. Right? I'm at like 3 1/4. So that they say that's why I have trouble, because they're stretching to the limit on getting the service to me. So
yeah, I mean, even if you got like everybody in your neighborhood to sign a petition and request that they bring service through the neighborhood, they'd probably still say no, because it's kind of an insignificant amount for all the money that they're going to have to spend to do it, which they'd ultimately just charge you anyway. Like Obnoxious is kind of in the same situation you are, but he lives at the end of a real long driveway, kind of back in the woods, and they want $10,002 to take basically from the end of his driveway to his house for internet. From the way I understand it, it's not like a very long way, but they want $10,000 to charge him out of his pocket to bring him internet to his house.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, now I do, because I do know there is a few people on this street that have internet, because around 5:30 every night, my internet gets real slow, because the bandwidth is being, because everybody's getting home from work, they're jumping on the computer, checking their emails and stuff like that. Between 5:30 and 6 every night, except for the weekends, Monday through Friday, 5:30 to 6, the bandwidth sucks. So even like when I'm watching, if I'm watching a movie, even if I'm watching YouTube, Netflix, Prime, Amazon Prime on my TV, I'll get the little thing spinning around and around, because the bandwidth is so slow during that time. It's pitiful, but that's the price I got to pay for living out here in the country like I do, which, I'm willing to, I don't know, put it this way. I should have checked in the internet before I moved here, because if I had known that, I might not have chose to live in this particular town I'm in. I might have chose somewhere else that had better internet, but I like where I'm at because it's nice and quiet out here.
Can you get like one of those signal booster things that you can plug into your modem or whatever?
I don't know if it would work or not. I could look into it. You know, I could look into it. But hey, right now, I had the engineer out here a few weeks ago, and he done something. He twigged it, and because what happened was it would drop. It would drop every couple of hours. I would have to reboot the modem. You know, but he done something to it. I rarely have to do that now. So that's good in that sense. You know, I don't know what he did. He told me he'd done something. He asked his boss if he could do it because technically they're not meant to or something. So I guess there's a way to get better internet, but they're not allowed to do it or something. But I think they must have put me on it or something, or I don't know. I don't drop my internet drops maybe once a week now, where it was dropping 3 or 4 times a day before. So I got to be happy with that, you know. But what I want to talk about, since we're here and halfway through the show, is Kingpin and I were talking before we went live. Since 150 million people have been killed since 2007 by gun violence, the other 150 million is going to die now with the coronavirus. So, you know, America as we know it is over. So what do you think of that, Squib?
Dun, dun, dun.
He ain't said a word the whole show.
I haven't had anything to add. But
So,
coronavirus, okay, great. I haven't had the flu in decades. I'll probably get over it.
Yeah. From what I can understand, it's only going to affect. I mean, it's like having a cold, but it's the people who have underlying issues that's the people that are dying. From what I've read on it, but I could be wrong.
They're stating if you get it a second time, it's a lot worse.
Okay.
I don't know if that's 100% true or not, but that is a case. Obviously, the CDC did say we have an issue here. Last I heard, there was over 200 confirmed cases within the U.S. that were being quarantined somewhere. Now there's people on a cruise ship being taken to an island to be quarantined. So it is becoming a thing. It does, from what they say, mainly affect the young and old weak. But again, if a younger person in between those ranges gets it, recovers and gets it again, it could be fatal. So hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't turn out to be the worst case. I would state there's a run on mask in my area. Respirators, things like that. I was at the store today and there wasn't much available, which I thought was kind of funny, but not funny, but people are on the move already. I'll put it that way. So it's might be smart to do what you can. I mean, if it turns out to be like one of these movies that's worst case scenario, I don't think the average person's going to stand too much of a chance. But
I mean, big cities or towns, you're going to have the militia circle the town and not let anybody in or out. You know.
Yeah, that'd be the worst fear, right? Where it's like martial law here, and the government's coming to throw you in the camps with infected people, and now you're making a choice: do you go or do you flee? And that's hopefully nothing we have to deal with. But
yeah. Unknown user said, they say if you get it the second time, the sickness is not the worst. The treatment they use is hard on your heart and damage you if you need a second treatment. Okay. I mean, I was listening to something on the news today. The what's the federal government or federal agency that approves drugs? They said they'll be ready. The what?
FDA.
Yeah, they'll be ready in 2 to 3 months to go to human trials. Then that would take another sort of like 6 months. So you're looking at 9 months before they might get a vaccine for this.
That's way too long.
That's way too long. There's got to be something out there. There's got to be some drug out there.
the R naught rate is yet to be determined exact. People are saying different things, and basically that's meaning, like, if it was an R naught 4, it would be one person would likely affect 4. There's some people that say it's around 4. There's some people that say it's around 12. So, and obviously there's lots of people that have slipped through because the initial number of days that you could have it and not be contagious or not know you had symptoms has now almost doubled. So it's, there's a lot of people they're still trying to track back down. So
yeah,
and if they're on the outside looking at what's going on in there, you're probably not going to want to go there. So it's a weird thing.
Yeah, I would imagine that eventually this is going to be like, when we were, a lot of people don't do it today, and this is why I think a lot of people get sick nowadays. I'm not saying with coronavirus, I'm saying in general, is when I was a kid, used to get all the, the measles, the mumps, the chicken pox, all them shots, the, vaccinations for all those sicknesses. I think coronavirus will be another vaccination everybody's going to have from now on, because it's never going to die. It's out there. Unfortunately, this bio weapon was released, and this is what happens. It got out of control. They couldn't contain it. So it's out. So it'd be traveling around the world all the time. So people don't have to get a vaccine, vaccination against it. But my doctor, to me, I think it's a scam because I'm on Medicare. They pay for it. The flu shot. He says it's time for your flu shot. I said, he said, do you want one? I said, don't matter to me. He said, well, you should at your age. I said, whatever. So he gives me the flu shot. They just do it because they bill the full price to Medicare, and Medicare pays it. Oh yeah, Sabrina's out there. She's over there in the Netherlands, and what you call it? They got it out in Europe. They got cases in Europe now. Out that don't they have them in Germany and stuff like that now?
It's in a lot of different countries. Iraq. It's spread all over the place at this point. So that's it's going to be hard for us not to get it, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, Sabrina, did that package ever show up? If not, I'll send you another one. So,
I'd be curious as to what her news is stating on the virus and information released from it. Obviously anybody from other countries, I'd be curious as to what their public television or announcements are notifying them of, and to see if there's any variation. So it's disappointing. You can't really trust one area. So
so Sabrina said she lives on the border of Germany. She's in the Netherlands there, and so it's getting close to her, So, all right, I'll email me your address again, and I will send you out another package, Sabrina. So we'll take care of that problem. I do apologize. I don't know what happened. Maybe I put the wrong address on it, and somebody in the Netherlands has got a bunch of gun stickers now, and wants to know what the hell's going on. So
they probably just got caught up in customs, and they won't let stickers of guns go into European countries.
Maybe that could be it. You'd think they would. I put my return address on. You think they'll send them back to me?
You got to investigate her before they can send her the stickers.
Yeah,
they're not going to send it back to you. It costs too much.
Well, or they'll send it back with the SWAT team outside pounding on my door because I got guns.
It'll be UN soldiers.
Yes, and with the blue helmets. So, yeah. So, anyway, what else is happening out there? I think, I mean, do you really think Bernie is going to win? He's going to be running against Trump? You know,
People like free, but I doubt it.
yeah. Talking about that, the state of Florida is suing. A bunch of people are suing the state of Florida to get Bernie Sanders removed from the ballot because he is a registered independent and he's running under a Democrat ticket. And there's some crazy old-fashioned law in Florida says you can't do that. So there we go. But I mean, like in Vermont, he is an independent. Why Vermont votes him in year out, I don't know. Because I mean, Vermont's a nice state too, and I thought they were gun friendly. Aren't they? Aren't they the original constitutional carry state? Oh, Patriot in the Dark's out in the chat. What's the matter? Not good enough? We're not good enough now for you to associate with, Patriot? You know? So.
It's probably refinishing that shotgun again.
Yes, more than likely. I don't know if he got rid of that white streak down the stock. Yeah. Mind you, though, you think about it, Bernie's what, 77? Bloomberg is around 77 too, I think.
Yes, they're all about the same age, yeah.
Yeah, they're all up there. They're old boys, old boys. And I think, I mean, I don't know how old Elizabeth Warren is, but she's up there. She's got to be in her high 60s, but it's hard to tell with somebody who's Native American.
Yeah, those high cheekbones.
Yeah.
Has Bernie ever had? I mean, I hear everybody say he's never had a real job or whatever, but is that legitimate? Has he ever worked somewhere?
No.
Some management, something at a higher level, or
no. No, he's not. I don't think he may have had like an after-school job when he was a kid, but he's basically, I would imagine, we'll just say from his first year in college until where he's at now, he's never actually held a job now.
Wow.
Most of those politicians.
He's a candidate for the presidency. I mean,
most of those people haven't had jobs. That's why you don't go into politics these days because you want to work.
Yeah, well, you figure you'd have some type of experience dealing with different departments or something. I mean,
yeah, that's old news, man. Politicians haven't had jobs for a long time.
Yeah,
explains a lot.
Oh well, we'll see what. Right now, I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, right now, Trump is our best bet, and the way it looks, I mean, I don't think. I believe he's going to win again. But there is a lot of. I don't know if hatred's the right word. The country is divided. It was divided. You could tell that when Trump won, with the way the votes went. You know what I'm saying? There was only, in the big picture schemes, what did she have? She only had a few million more votes than Trump did. I mean, but it was around 63 million people voted, So the country, so is the country still divided like that? Do you think it is?
I think that the country's not as divided. The political factions are divided. Your right versus your left, your conservative versus your liberal. That's more divided because of Washington D.C. and all of our state capitals. But all the John Q. Publics and Jane Q. Publics in the middle, I think they're right about the same way they've always been. Just, they don't really. I worked with 4 guys today, and one of them was like internet savvy. One of them literally doesn't have the internet at all. He didn't even know Kobe Bryant was dead. And then the other 2 guys couldn't care less. You know, they're not interested in politics. They like to listen to their music, do their job, and go home and chill out.
Do
There's
they vote?
Sure, they know what's going on, but they're just not into it. You know, they got other stuff that they care about doing. You know, like watching television or whatever hobby, or their kids or their wife, or whatever else they're doing. And that's what the vast majority of the American public is doing their own thing. Look, I mean, you can see they go. It's funny because Fox News or conservative websites will go to college campuses and ask kids who the first president was, and they're like, I don't know. And then they'll ask kids what college kids, what's the electoral college? I don't know. Who was last year's vice president? I don't know. Most people aren't interested in all this kind of stuff.
The third shift guy talks politics that sideways out his butt, even though I don't start up a conversation with him about it, told me 2 nights ago that the electoral college means that people in Wyoming have more control over this country than people in California. I said, what? He goes, yeah. He goes, in the states that are sparsely populated, one person's vote counts for more votes than in a state with a lot of population. I said, that's not what the electoral college is. He goes, yeah, it is. And I'm going, you're 30 years old, and this is what you believe. But he's the guy who also is all for the Democrat Party and for electing a socialist, because then he doesn't have to pay for health care anymore. It won't come out of his paycheck anymore. And he don't have to work as hard to make as much money. And he just wants a bunch of free stuff. And what he doesn't understand is what we talked about on Sandhill's show last night. Oh, yeah, you'll get all kinds of free stuff. You'll have all the same free stuff everybody else has. You can't have nicer stuff. You can't have more stuff. And you might get assigned a job that you don't want to do. And it's like, because he's 30, I would try to give him a little bit of credit, but apparently not.
Are you outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a bit of wind interference there.
My mic's right next to my mouth. I'm pretty sure you can hear me. I'm a loudmouth.
Yeah, it just sounded like you went to a trash compactor there for a second.
Yeah, unless your mic's rubbing against your collar or something. Anyway, what do you mean nothing but taken out of his paycheck? Where do you think the money's coming from to pay for all this free shit?
Well, Bernie Sanders, he quoted, he said earlier today that healthcare would go down by like $450 billion a year, the prices of healthcare.
I was reading an article today. They were adding up all the stuff he said that he was going to do. It actually costs more than the amount of money people have in the United States.
Yeah, well, look, like the Green New Deal, the last estimate that I heard, not that I've heard a bunch of different varieties, so I'm not giving any of them credit, but one expert said that it would cost $92 trillion. That doesn't exist. $92 trillion doesn't exist.
Yeah, I read something today where they were saying the first year of the Green New Deal would cost every single person $75,000 in their first year. That means husband, wife, kids, everybody, every person, no matter age, would cost $75,000 in the first year.
The reason that all this is possible is because we have a pretend economy. Our economy is fake. All the money in your pocket is fake. When you write a check, it's fake. None of it actually has anything to support it, except for the fact that the person you wrote the check to is willing to accept it. If anywhere in that link, somewhere along the line, somebody says that $5 is worthless to me, this whole system is going to collapse. That's another reason why we have the military that we have, and all the stuff that happens that everybody complains and whines about. American imperialism and all. That's what makes the world spin. And if somewhere it breaks, everybody's going down with it. When you have an economy that doesn't really exist, like Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is worth almost $300 billion. If he were to go and say cash out that money, there's not that much money on the planet to pay him. How does he worth that much if there's nothing backing it up?
Well, make believe.
Right. That's why
currency.
feels comfortable talking about spending $92 billion on killing cows.
I mean, like you said, everything that the United States is guaranteeing. There ain't that much gold in Fort Knox. So that's another thing. I know it's totally off topic and we're almost out of time, but I have a question for you guys. Maybe you can explain it to me. If the country collapses or you have the big whatever, people say buy gold and silver. Why? If there's no money, no value on anything, how does gold have a value?
It's a tangible precious metal that some of us will barter for. We'll use it as an interchange, an exchange when you don't have. If you've got something, and I've got something, but we don't want what the other person has, but we've got gold or silver, we'll trade for that.
Yeah, a tangible credit, something that most people are familiar with. Used to be anyway, because there was a time they used wooden nickels places, things like that, for value currency.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if times got hard and you came to me and you wanted some of your Weakland 9mm bullets, and I have some, and you say, "Well, I want them," and I'll say, "What you got?" and you say, "Go," and I say, "No, thank you." Because it ain't no good to me.
It would be no different than if I came to you with jugs of water and you said, no, thank you. And if you don't want to trade for it, you don't trade for it. Who cares?
No, geez, if you're in the preppy world where you need stuff, water is valuable. Bullets are valuable.
Gold and silver are valuable.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Absolutely.
Look, the reason that squib is completely right. When the first big igloo hits, your gold is worthless because you need food, you need fire starting material, you need shelter, like it right there: guns, ammo, drugs, food, water. Those are all the things that you're going to be searching for, and shelter. Sooner or later, things will settle down, and things will start to rebuild, whether it's caveman style or however it starts to rebuild. That's when your gold is going to become valuable. The only reason gold is valuable now is because some dude found a piece of it and said, "Look how pretty this is," thousands and thousands of years ago. And when a human being's eye looks at the gold, they desire it. And that will never change. That human instinct to desire the gold will never change. And now, during the bad times when you need your ammo more than you need that gold is worthless. You can't do anything with it because nobody wants it. There's nothing backing it. There's no economy. But sooner or later, when it all calms down, there's going to be an economy again.
When that time comes and people are looking for something that they can exchange when they don't have an item that you want to barter for or a service you want to barter for, or they need some sort of universal exchange over distance, and they want something tangible, either because we don't have our electrical grid up, we don't have our communication grid up, or just nobody trusts it anymore. They don't want a piece of paper, they don't want a wooden nickel, they don't want an IOU written on a piece of paper, they want a piece of precious metal. That's where it's going to have its place. And if you want to cross your arms and stamp your foot and go, no, I'm not trading for this, then you will end up extinct, because at some point you will need something, and the only thing that the other person's going to accept is gold or silver. And because you didn't trade for it early, later on when you need it, the other person goes, I've got water, I've got bullets, I've got bandages, I've got food, I've got feed, what do you got? Do you have any gold or silver? Well, no, I never kept any of that crap, oh, well, guess you're out of luck. And that's when it's going to come in handy. And there's old guys like me that still see a value in that, and we'll be around. There might be some younger people out there that go, it ain't worth nothing. Well, when you can't fire up your Xbox anymore, kids, you're going to wish that you had gold and silver.
Well, yeah, unknown user made a good point. He said, gold is more than pretty. It has thousands of uses in technological advanced societies. So that's another reason once things start to move back into a positive civilized direction, you're going to need gold to build stuff. You're going to need, platinum and all this other kinds of stuff to build stuff.
Yeah. I guess if I saw things turning around, then I might start trading for it. But when things are going downhill, it has no value whatsoever.
Here's the thing. Let's say silver is worth $18 an ounce today, and in 6 months it goes up to $36 an ounce. And you bought some today, and you were able to sell it for double, and you were able to pocket it. You're making money off of it. But let's say you bought it for $18 an ounce today, and you sat on it for 20 years, and then it went up to $36 an ounce, and you sold it. You go, look, I doubled my money. Well, first off, it took you 20 years, and secondly, there's inflation. So does it really go up in value? In the short term, some of this stuff, if you buy it and sell it and buy it and sell it, but if you're just buying it to set on it for the apocalypse or to give to your grandkids 30 years from now, then there's no harm in it. You don't have to go out and spend $1,000 a week on this stuff. You can buy it in small, little bits and pieces and here and there, and before you know it, you got a safe full of it. Or just find a leprechaun and steal it from him.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm not. We could go round and round and round on this, but we're out of time almost here. So, any last minute stuff you want to get in discuss?
Gotta do the quiz.
Oh yeah, thanks. I forgot all about it. Hang on, I'm just writing me a note to make sure I resend a swag pack to Sabrina. So, okay, I will get that done. We're out of here. You go. Look at this one. You're absolutely right. It's my Wednesday grilled cheese sandwich night. So, okay, the quiz. It's email only to rickslifeasIseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. And this is for all the old boys out there. The youngsters might have to look it up. In the old days, it's about Hopalong Cassidy. I want the name of his horse and what breed it was. So there you go. Hopalong Cassidy's favorite horse. The name and what breed. Get it into me by Saturday lunchtime, and you'll be in for the swag pack thing. Welsh rabbit sounds pretty good there, Sean. But no, I'm going to have the grilled cheese. No, actually, Welsh rabbit does sound good. Oh, no. I mean, my toaster's on the way out. I got to get a new toaster. I have to, my toaster right now, the thing that you press down doesn't stay down. Once I press it down, I hang my cane on it to hold it down. So I have to keep an eye on the toast to make sure it don't burn. Because what you do with Welsh rabbit is you toast the bread first, slap some light butter on it, then you put your cheddar cheese on there. Don't use American cheese. It's absolutely disgusting that way. American cheese is only good for grilled cheese sandwiches. Put cheddar cheese on it, put it under your broiler, and to the cheese all bubbles up, pull it out, salt and pepper. Oh, man. That's called Welsh rabbit. So, there we go. That might actually, that sounds pretty good, Sean. Thanks. I might do that tonight. Stew cheese, See, I do eat cheese, guys. I just don't like it slapped on everything without asking me. You know, when I go have a, when I want to, go to get a, for like a, in the morning, a bacon and egg croissant or biscuit or something, I don't want a slice of cheese on it. It just, cheese in the morning just isn't, you don't eat cheese in the morning. It's not a morning food. That's all I'm going to say. So, anyway, guys, we're going to call it quits here. So I want to say thank you, everybody, for showing up. It was totally way off topic today, but I had a good time, Oh, and I want to say thank you to everybody, in the chat there. There was quite a few tonight. So I'm quite pleased with that. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up where I can get out there and get more subscribers. That's anyway. Let's see who we got. Kingpin, any shout outs or anything you want to say?
Always a pleasure being with you, Rick. And check out Rants and Raves later tonight on Roll Call's channel.
Yes. Yeah, he's way up north of me here in Indiana. He's up there. He's up there by the, is it up there by, was it Lake Michigan or whatever lakes up that way? He's way up there. New York Outcast, any shout outs or plugs?
No, I just want to say thanks for having me. And I completely disagree with Rick about cheese in the morning. It's very hard to beat a sausage, egg, and cheese.
that can go on for a while, that conversation. We might bring it back up again on Saturday. So, all right. Some people, they haven't done it tonight, but I have been accused of being un-American on my stance on cheese.
it is in question.
All right. Squib, any shout outs or plugs?
No.
How are you on cheese in the morning?
Yeah, I had some in my omelet this morning. Well, actually, I made breakfast burritos. I took an omelet and I turned it into breakfast burritos, but I made sure I had taco cheese in there. Sometimes I'll use cheddar, Monterey Jack, mozzarella, provolone, Swiss. Yeah.
I mean, even cheese in an omelet just doesn't. No, sorry. No. Okay. We will have this discussion on another day again. So, all right, guys. I want to say thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. And I want to say thank you. I'll be back on Saturday at 3 p.m. with Rick's Life as I See It. So I will see you all then. So I want to say good night, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at. Talk to you all later.